Hi, it's Jez here from Nigezza.co.uk. Thank you for joining me today. So it's part 3 of making this Christmas folio, which is taking a bit longer than I thought it would, but you know, things always do, don't they? So I have done a little bit already. I've made some of the tags, and I'm going to make some of the tags with you. I have done this sort of thing before, so I'm going to do a bit of time lapse in a minute. So this was the tag that I made for the window pocket, and I've sort of like put a bit of this is all sort of Stampin' Up stuff, apart from my vintage digital there, sort of stamped the back. This is crumb cake, and I did a sort of a collage sheet with lots and lots of scraps that I had, and I've put that image there so that when you pop it in the pocket, it's visible. That was my thoughts behind that. I did originally stick it too high, but thankfully I noticed. I'm gonna have to stick that bit down a bit more. I noticed before it was dried, and I was able to sort of pull it off, and then I had to add this postage stamp because there was like a gluey mess behind there. But I think it's worked, but because it's going in and out of a pocket, I have to make sure that all the corners are really well stuck down. So I'm going to leave that to one side for now. Put the lid on that because I'm going to use that later when we don't want it to dry. So then I did a tag in the back there. So I did have, it wasn't a full sheet. So I got these 2 squares, well, sort of vaguely squares. They call them oblongs, don't they, actually, Jez? So yeah, I thought that was quite nice on the inside. I will add some more decoration to this. I've got to do the tags for this. I cut a pocket there, ready to go on there. And I thought the stripe one was nice because it sort of picks it out. I've managed out of that same sheet to get my little side pocket there, side tag even, to go in there. And then there was a little bit there to make my little tag there. I haven't put ribbon on it because I'm not sure what ribbon I'm going to use, and I kind of want it to sort of match. There are these 2 little strips left over from that bit that I stamped, so I may or may not use these somewhere in here. And then I made a big tag to go in the side. So have I used that image already somewhere? Not sure. So the images that I've got, I've made some of them bigger, some of them smaller, so they might be repeated, but I've repeated these baubles and gone sort of more green on this one, whereas that's more red, but they're all kind of the same green. That's garden green in there, and that's what this is, although that's old olive, but I thought that went well with the foliage. So that's and then I did a little bit of stenciling there and that. So this is craft card. It's nice and thick. Thought you could put photos or whatever on the back there. So I'm going to make one of those again, and make the tag. So I need something to go in this belly band. I need something to go in there, something to go in there. I'm going to make something for there, something for the outside, so 2 on the outside and 1 on the inside. So I've got quite a lot of tags and things to make. So what I thought was, although I have done a video on doing a collage sheet with scraps and then cutting it up, I'm going to do it again with I'll do it sort of time lapse. You can see I went round it with my stitching stamp that I did before. I did that one. When I did it before, I used that one, which I think I'm going to do on this one. I think that one looks a little bit better than this zigzaggy one. But it's nice to do things different, isn't it? So I'm going to get on and get that sorted. So I've got an A4 sheet here of crumb cake cardstock. I've got my stamp mounted, and I've got lots of scraps, and I have inked around them. Well, not around them, I've inked sort of on them to, I love that one. They were white snowflakes, and I thought they went really well. So with a bit of ink blend in, turn them sort of vintage. So lots of different papers here. Went through my stack of scraps. Love that sheet, which I will be cutting down to little pieces. So some are already cut down and some aren't. So I'm just going to start gluing them on this sheet, and I'm probably going to cut 4 fairly large tags out of this. So I may have to do some more when I've done it. So that's the sheet all done. I'm quite liking how it turned out. As you can see, some of them I overlapped, they're not, but I don't think that matters very much. And it's sort of, I did things in different directions, so it doesn't really matter how you cut them. So now I'm going to have a little look on here so that I can see what size I want. For this, don't need very much shorter than that. What I tend to do is cut 2 inches off the top because I've got a punch that makes nice tags that are 2 inches wide, but it'll also do 3/4 and 1 inch as well. So I might do it 3/4 to be fair, because that's quite a tall pocket. Quite a tall pocket, that. Let's have a little measure. Yeah, because it's like 7 inches. And that would give me 1 1/4. If I did it 7 inches, I'd have 1 1/4 there. I quite would want it, yeah, 7 inches to take it to the top of the pocket. I might want it to come out. I might just cut it straight up. Now, width-wise, this is 4 inches wide, and I do go all the way to the edging, I think. Let me check. Yeah, because it's an envelope, so it goes all the way to the edging. So it can be almost as wide as that. So I could make it just shy of 4 inches wide, but I only want that as one. The ones that go in this pocket and this pocket will need to be thinner because of the way that this is stuck in. So I'm going to do one cut at 4 inches. Bringing me big chopper because this is quite thick now because it's cardstock, and then I'm going to come shy of 4 inches. I'm going to go 3 7/8. Yeah, so it's cardstock and DSP, and then I've used collal, so it's now quite thick and robust. I like that word. Right, so that, yeah, so that fits down there. Yeah, so I quite like that sticking out, but I might just trim a tad off, which is really not going to be any use to Man the Beast particularly. So I'm gonna give it a bit of a tag top to it, going to use one of my credit cards things. So, well, I'm going to cut it down a bit. So I might use that bigger one because then it's going to get cut down. No, we'll stick with that one. Yeah, we'll do that one because then I'll probably cut a little inch down. So not an inch down, about half an inch down. So line that up. So that's a nice tag top. And I'm going to cut a bit off the top there. So I might just cut half an inch. I think half an inch. I'll take half an inch off that. I craft myself into a corner. I was crafting with my sisters yesterday, and I'm like crafted myself into a corner where I ended up with hardly any. I'm eyeballing this with any space left there. I really like the way that top now looks. Huge tag, massive. Yeah, so that goes down there nicely. We got that on the back, so I'll do some stamping. So that's that one. So for the one in here, doesn't be as wide, and it doesn't need to be as tall, so I might now take something off the top. So I'm going to go under this bit, so that is what we're looking at, 6 inches. I could go 6.5, maybe go 6.5. So if that is 6.5, I'll end up with 1 3/4. That'd be perfect, I think. So I might cut 1 3/4 off this end. That gives me a nice tag. And then I might cut, so I'm going to go 3 3/4. I should get 2 of that size. Let me check. 3.5 probably. 3.5. It's probably better. Oh, even that's a bit tight, isn't it? It fit on that side. Well tight on that side. Probably looking at 3. I'm gonna waste some. Never mind. Take it off that side. Go down to 3. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, so that's those tags done. got all these little strips left, which I can use for other things. Don't know what yet. So that. So I'm gonna don't want that to go down below it. Yeah, so I'm going to stick that about there. I'm going to use my Tombow. I'm going to curl it this way a little bit. It's curling the wrong way because I want it to be a pocket. That's a bit better. Just so it's like coming up a little bit. It will go into the way, which is no good. And then I'll work out how many more pockets I need. And what I might do is cut the size and collage onto where I want it. So I get less wastage if I cut the tag. So I want a tag in there, a little one in there. Ooh. Oh, that's perfect for there. Do you know, it was like it was meant to be. Right, those baubles are that way up. So we'll have that there, and we'll cut it about there. Oh, I'm pleased about that. Not a total disaster or waste. So cut that about there. That looks very cool. Right, let's tag top of the top, and then it matches that one. And because it's not, doesn't fit in, but it doesn't matter because you can go this side, and as long as it's just, I just fiddle with it until it's sort of equal on both sides. With my glasses on helps. Just a little fiddle. That'll work. There we go. Nice little tag top there. Perfect. Liking it. Right, so that's them sorted. All right, so I need a tag for in there. Now let me just have a little look-see. Right, this could be wider. So that's 3.5. So that could have been 3 3/4. So I might make that 3 3/4. Let me get Post-it so I don't forget. So, because I'm terrible at forgetting. So, vellum bag tag is going to be 3 3/4. And I kind of think I want it a bit taller by, yeah, maybe an inch. So maybe an inch taller than this. So it is 6.5, so I want to go to about 7.5. So what I might do is cut that out of some craft card, crumb cake, and then just do that on it. Do that on it. Right, now then, this big one. I think I'd keep it that wide so that it's not. So what width was this? It was about 3 7/8, wasn't it? Could probably go 4. Could go 4. So where's my post-it pad gone? So stripe pocket. We'll go 4 inches by, let's see, because it didn't go all the way to the bottom. Stop about there. It's like a precise measuring. I'm liking it. About there, which is about 6 3/4, 6 1/2 really. Yeah, take it to about 6 1/2. So that's that. So that would be that one, and then that one, and then we need one for in there. So this is half a sheet, so half standard sheet. I just rounded the corners, so that's what that is, half an A4. I think, even though it fits in there, it's maybe slightly too big for in there, because that was my thoughts of it in there. But then I had another thought of maybe putting a little booklet in there, so making another one of these exactly the same to go in that pocket, and then in here making a little booklet. And so that's all that's required. This one, I used some of that on it. I might use some of my lovely print sheets that look like newspaper. Yes, so got those two to make, got that to go in there, got a booklet to do. So if I show you how I decorated a tag, that would be helpful, wouldn't it? And then I can get on and do the others without you seeing. Because you don't need to see everything. I'm sure you've got a pretty good idea of a lot of the things that I've got. I'm just thinking, I've got a Christmas tree punch. I could probably punch a Christmas tree out of that for a bit of decoration. Should have put it on a post-it or something. Yeah, it's not going to work, Jess. Not sure that post-it's strong enough, really. There we go. Put it down. Oh, yes. Oh. Where has it gone? It is on the floor. Take that bit of a post-it off. And then I've got a nice little Christmas tree, which I could just maybe stick on the outside or decorate one of these pockets with. So that's not wasted that little bit, is it? I'm liking that. Liking that a lot. I might put something on there to make a pocket. So one of my vintage images, I mean that one's the wrong orientation, but on there, so we've got another little pocket. I think that might be quite nice. That's the fun of these things, it's like the decoration you do afterwards. And then like I've done on here, I might put a couple of those baubles on there. I've got some ready that I haven't done out with yet. I think they look very cool. That might even look cool down there. Yeah, so I'm going to get some more of those ready. So we were decorating, before I got sidetracked, we were decorating a tag. I feel like I'm crafting myself into a corner again without even trying. Right, so I want to cut the top into a tag shape. There we go, nice tag shape. And then what I did was I went round the whole outside again with that stitching stamp. Am I a right mess on here? Not too bad, is it? So I did both sides. So it's as if I've gone round it on my sewing machine. And then on the back. Love this stamp set. I am finding that I'm using certain stitches more than others, but that's okay. So liking that. Let's have a bit of page spotting. Don't really need to do it on the front because I have already done that to the front bits. Maybe a bit of, I gave this a good clean. Some of the stickies come back. There we go. Because I use it a lot in the hand, the sticky does come off a bit. There we go. And then just a bit of inking up. Around the edges. And this is what I do on every single one of the tags. Some of them I have used a mask and done a bit of stenciling because it's Christmas. Put a bit of snowflakes on there, so you can still write on it. I could put a few snowflakes on the front as well, actually. Quite like that. And then it needs inking all round the edges. Well, it probably doesn't need it. I'm just obsessed. I start a project and think I'm not going to ink very much at all, and I can't help myself. I do like my vintage and my grunge. There we go. So you can still write on that. That's maybe a little bit dark, but I think it's fine. So then I took different items to decorate. So I liked to have a vintage image. This one, I don't like that blue in it. I think the blue's a bit dark. Take it down. There. That's a bit better. That's a bit big after all that. It's a bit big. So we've got a bit of music paper we can bring in. Like a bit of music paper in the vintage journals. Could do a bit of a bauble, and I've got a little vintage Santa. I'm now in my head singing "You Can Ring My Bell," as you do, and I could put a bit of doily if I want. I could leave it as that. Quite like that. Quite like that. I have got my doilies. I've got doilies of different colours. But I just ink the back to match. So I did some in cherry cobbler because that's cherry cobbler. So I did get my cherry cobbler ink out. I like having different colours to choose from. I like having the option with these doilies to ink the back. I think these are still on clearance, these doilies. I'm always bringing a packet in my basket when I go shopping. It's in my Stampin' Up shop. The more you add, the darker it gets. Quite like it very dark. Yeah. One doily goes a long way. I'll cut it up. And because I use them on like a bit on each of the tags, it makes them match. So I'm just going over with a little bit of the soft suede as well, and that sort of brings it even deeper. There, perfect, 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 perfect. Do a little bit of, stamp a bit of script on it, which is quite subtle when you do it, but it's quite good. Can just sort of see it, and if you can see that, I like it. I might give him a little bit of a brush over. Oh, that's picking up a bit of the red. Okay. Let's fold that page up. There we are. Okay. Yeah, he's definitely got a slight redness to him, but I think that's okay. And then I might do a little bit of doily. Let's cut him in half. And have a little bit of doily coming down there. And I'm going to put some words on them all to finish them off. But that's where that's going. And then I like to have a little bit of a tag thing going on there. Might have a tag thing with one of these. So we cut this to about 3/4 ish. So cut that to 1.5. And then we can fold it in half. So we should have roughly about 3/4 inch square. That go in there. And I will do I might put an eyelet in it and some ribbon, and whatever ribbon I choose, it can go on everything. I have got a lovely ribbon which I think will be perfect. So that'd be like that. And the ribbon I've got, not sure how much of it I've got, but I have got this ribbon, which, as I say, I think's perfect. I've got more than that, that's just the little scrap. So I'm going to get all that stuck down. Okay, so that is the tag done, and I want a few words on it. So I've picked out, I've got loads of Christmas stamps, so I've picked out Season's Greetings here from Penguin Place. I've got some very vanilla cardstock. I think I'm going to stamp it Cherry Cobbler. So stamp it down like so. I'm going to give it a little bit of distressing, and then I'm going to cut the words out separately. So I'm going to take my long scissors and cut like so. I'm going to do a little bit of slant. Oh, that was nearly me cutting my nail. So I'm going to mat them. I'm going to put a little bit of Season's Greetings along there. So I thought I'd mat them on a bit of crumb cake. And then I might mat them on cherry cobbler as well. Double mat maybe. So we're gonna stick these. I do this on the top of greetings cards as well. Good enough for that. It's good enough for this. So stick it down straight at the bottom, saves you cutting the bottom edge. That one's moved. That's because I didn't use Tombow, which like sticks really quickly. If you want to put your glasses on, Jez, and then you might actually see what you're doing. I like to cut it quite close. I'm also not minding if it's a bit out, because I think that kind of adds to it, because you're sort of going for a vintage look and wouldn't have had so much precision, I don't think, back in the day as we do now. Everything was sort of handmade. I think we get quite used to things being like machine made and therefore completely this identical things. But they don't actually have to be. Yeah, like in that. Going to do a little bit of inking on the edges. I should have inked around the very vanilla, but I didn't. And I can decide whether or not I want to put red round it. Could put garden green. That's garden green in there. But I think the red is what's dominating here. I'm going to leave it at that, I think. This is when I kind of take a photo and make my decision. I'm going with this. I think another mat would make it a bit too bulky. Possibly make it a bit too bulky. There we are. That is that tag done. Let's see what it looks like in the folio. Move out some of my rubbish. Where is my folio? It's there, buried. So my little tag, it would go down a little bit more, only that greetings is possibly in the wrong place. I think it's the same size this side. Seems to go in that side a bit better. So yeah, that is the tag. So that's how I'm going to decorate all the other tags. I'll make a decision about which pocket it goes in afterwards. So yeah, they're all going to be done in that way, so you don't need to see me do them all. So I'll get them all made, and then we'll do the last bit of sort of decorating on the page. It's getting a little bit chunky, and I was just thinking about doing a booklet under here, just a little booklet, so I might show you that. So I've completed all the tags, and so I'm just going to show you those. I did add a bit to this. So as I had my crocodile out and was adding eyelets, I decided to add an eyelet to these little tops there. Added a little word memories, and I've like just tied with a bow a little charm. So I've gone through and looked at different charms and things that I've got that I might add. And I've put ribbons on the top of the tags. So I'm just going to show you, and I think I'm going to do another part for decorating. So I've got a little hole there which I may add just a little bow, or I might add another charm. And as you can see, I've added some little words from that one you saw. Don't know if did I do the ribbon on camera? I think I did. So that's the big one in the middle. I've done all the ribbons exactly the same way, because I really like them for a Christmas look. That one on the back, isn't she cute? I love her. Magic and Wonder, because it is Magic and Wonder for kids, isn't it, at Christmas? This one, I've got another little hole there. I like that little scene of a fireplace, little dog sleeping. So may this special season be wrapped in love and joy. That just seems like the sort of Christmas scene that's sort of lovely. So, and then in here we have this one, Joyful Christmas. I liked that. I just put Season's Greetings on that one. I've got the same image, just different sizes on that. And I've put Heartwarming Memories there. And then on this big one, Hoping This Season Builds Memories Together. Taking that from a couple of stamp sets that I had, but I quite liked the sentiment there. That goes down there. Do you know, sometimes my hands don't work. There we go. And then on this one, again, I put a little eyelet there, wishing you a joyful Christmas. So I'm going to end that. And I'm just then thinking of doing a little journal. So just with this scrap left over, I'm going to turn that into a little journal. But I'm going to do that in part 3. I've got to do the other one of this in part 3. And I want to do a little bit of decoration on this page and on these pocket fronts and on the front here. And I've got an idea for the back. I'm going to attach a ribbon to the back. So that's a wrap for part 3. And then I'm going to do part 4. So see you in part 4. All details will be over on nigezza.co.uk. The papers are now retired, you can't get them, but other things that I've used, these are still available, the stamp sets, and I'll link to those down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe.